Okay, guys, it's 2019, and I definitely want to talk to you about what I have planned for the future. And the hardest thing is, I did this at least 4 to 5 times. As you see, I'm still redoing my room, always changing things up, always looking for material to inspire me to do better, always trying to find something that's just gonna give me the edge, that's gonna push me in the direction I need to go in. With that being said, I'm gonna tell you guys about my XYZ plan now. The past year, 2018, has been a pretty good year. I have been doing very well with the Better Me Committee meeting. Going forward, like I plan to, advancing my life and making myself better, which is great. That's amazing. That's exactly what I wanted. But I need more for 2019. And I realized that a couple months ago. A couple months ago, I was thinking to myself, where do I see myself in 5 years? Where do I see myself in 3, 2, 1, 10, 20? Where do I see myself in the future? The big picture is right there, but let me take it step by step. Where do I really see myself in the future? And I realized even though I've been here and I've been doing pretty good here, it's not the forward progression I wanted. It's kind of in the right direction, but not really. And I can do better. That's the key. I know I can do better. So I came up with this idea called the XYZ plan. Now the XYZ plan, which is I just kind of double XYP, X being obviously the number of years put in whatever, Y years of course, and P for plan, and that's what I've been working on. Now I've broken it down to 4 now, not limited to, and not exclusive. You know, I can make more, but I definitely want to at the very least get these 4 goals accomplished. One, family, and obviously when I talk about family, I talk about Xavier, my son. Now for the past year, we've been doing great. Snapshots every week, 2 snapshots, half an hour each, doing great. But the thing is that's it, just 2 snapshots every week. Regardless of who you are, that can't be enough. If you truly love the people that, if I if I truly love my son, 2 snapshots a week is not enough. Originally, this was stage 1, being able to do the video chat for him to get used to me. And honestly, originally the plan was just that was just supposed to last for 3 to 4 weeks. Well, sorry, 3 to 4 months. Obviously, now it's been a year. A lot of complications, a lot of things rose up, and I'm not talking about me. If something came up with me, I handle it myself the best way I know how to. A lot of things happened. His mother filed for divorce. That kind of personally set me back, and I shouldn't have let it happen like that, but it did. She decided to move. That kind of set things back. He got a new location, got a new school, lost all of his old friends, got to get used to new teachers, new school system, new everything. I didn't want to kind of add more to that. They moved sometime in the summer, so I gave him a little bit more time to get used to his settings, but also gave myself more time to bond with him, and I think it done well. Matter of fact, a couple of times he has even asked, "Hey, Daddy, when can I see you?" And I'm like, "Gosh, look, that's exactly where I want to be." The thing is that there's a lot of red tape that has to go between before I even go and try to see him. Not because of him; he didn't do anything wrong. It's me. Me and his mom got a lot of things that we kind of have to get through. We're not gonna get through that right now, and we're not gonna get through that in a year. But right now, I need to worry about things legally, making sure I'm taken care of. Because one of the things I'm also going to focus on in 2019 is being able to rely on myself. Because I've seen a lot of people lately who kind of go, you know, oh, I was going to do this, but so and so backed out and never showed up, so I didn't. I ended up not doing it. It's like, you still could have done that. You didn't really need that person to do that. I understand you didn't want to do it by yourself, but you still could have done it. You know, or someone would have been like, oh, I was gonna do that over there and all that stuff, but the other person ended up going ghost on me. It's like, well, you still could have done it. Better to have done something by yourself than to do nothing with everybody else. So my goal this year is to rely on myself, to realize what my agenda is and complete that. Honestly, for the past year, I've been doing a lot of things to move myself forward. Like I mentioned before, the Better Me Committee's been doing really, really good. It's been growing. It's been developing. It's been getting better each and every time. However, I'm not moving forward fast enough. I'm not doing what I should be doing. Well, I am doing what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it fast enough. I'm not doing it the right way according to me. So 2019 has to be the year that I focus on me, and I rely on me to focus on me. If someone goes, oh, well, you need to do this, this, and this, I can't be like, well, I'm waiting on that, and I'm waiting on this. I really kind of thought about this the last few months of 2018, especially with Xavier, the Legacy Project. The idea that I had to go do the paperwork. I couldn't wait on people to do paperwork for me. I was on people's asses. I'm like, hey, where's that release form so I can fill that out? Hey, where's form 237 so I can fill that out? Hey, we need to have that meeting to be able to, talk about the next step and where we're going to go with this and everything else like that. I had to realize I had to push for that. I see a lot of people nowadays who kind of go, well, I sent out my applications at a job and they haven't called me back. Like, why haven't you called them back? Hmm? Why? What are you doing sitting there waiting for phone calls? Are you that important that they'd be trying to get at you? No, no. And I know, like, as hard as I try, I'm no one big. I gotta make phone calls. I gotta do things myself, and I gotta make sure things happen. That's me. That's why I gotta rely on myself. So with this XYZ plan, especially when it comes to Xavier, I'm trying my best to focus on the ideal. That everything is based upon him, not how I feel, not how his mom feels, not how whatever person she's with feels, or whoever she happens to be living with feels, not whoever I have to wait for a confirmation feels, not whoever I have to wait for evaluations and everything else, or whoever I hand paperwork to, or the person across the street, or a person in the next neighborhood, or not. None of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is if Xavier is okay with the process. And so far, he's been okay with it. He says he wants to see me, and I'm making steps. And I'm planning that within the first 2 to 3 months, a face-to-face is going to be not just possible, but it's going to happen. And everybody else might be like, oh, you might need more time. We're going to need more time. And I'm going to tell them the same way Xavier's mother told me, take all the time you want, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen when I say so. So that's what's going to happen. In the first 2 to 3 months, a face-to-face is going to happen. I'm going to make sure all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. And it's all going to happen. So that's my goal for there. Family's not done, though. For the past, I honestly want to say now, we've been going on 10 months. I've been dating a girl named Danny. She has 2 beautiful daughters. Both of them are very special little girls. Handful, too, let me tell you. And honestly, I never thought I'd see myself in this position. But it's not a bad thing. I'm learning. I'm learning how to be a parent. A better parent than I was before. I mean, a lot of people said I was a pretty good parent back then. I made the effort. I did what I needed to do. I was a good dad. Now imagine what I am now that I say I think I'm a better dad. I'm able to actually understand a lot more things better. Matter of fact, one of Danny's daughters happened to be like Xavier in the sense that they happen to have the same struggle. I'm not going to go too detail about that, but at the same time, it helps me prepare myself for when I do face to face with Xavier. And that's not the sole reason that I'm with Danny, because that's ridiculous. But like, it's helpful. Sometimes the cosmos put things in your path so that you can be able to do life better. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do life better. So I'm grateful for the opportunities life has given me to be able to do life better, to be able to fix the mistakes that were made in the past. Now, a lot of mistakes are still being made. I'm only human. At least last I checked. But I've learned from my mistakes that I made with Xavier's mother. I learned a lot of mistakes that I learned between and afterwards. I think I'm doing better. I'm not perfect. I never ever tried to be perfect, but I always tried to be better. Danny sees it, even though sometimes it's hard. I work myself 5 days out of the week and only see him 2. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress, but Danny and everybody else tells me the girls are better ever since they met me. They're well behaved. Well, The better behaved. There we go. The better behaved, because kids are not well behaved, but they get better, and they've been better since I've been a part of their life, and that makes me feel good that I can actually be a positive light in somebody's life. So that's definitely a plus. So I'm hoping. No, I'm not hoping, because hope means that it's out of my hands, and I refuse to let 2019 be out of my hands. I am going to make sure 2019 is going to be the year that what I want happen, I will make happen. I will I will work hard. I will put the effort. I'll put the hours. I'll put the time. I will make it happen in 2019, especially for family, especially for the two girls, Danny and Xavier. That is my promise for 2019. And keep in mind, I'm not even done. That's only one part, a quarter of the XYZ plan. Now, the second part of the XYZ plan is financial. Now, this is a little touchy subject, touchy and slightly on the complicated side. But think about it like this. Everybody got debt. I don't like that. I don't like owing people anything. I don't care if people owe me stuff, because I know people are flaky as all heck. But I know I don't want to owe anybody anything. I got two major bills that kind of got ahead of me. And I'm going to do my best to kind of get that in control, because the one bill is preventing me from actually moving forward. I can't have that be a thing. I refuse to let that be a thing. So for 2019, I'm definitely going to do my best to wipe that slate clean. Luckily, and I'm going to tell you the amount. Some of you are going to be like, oh, it's not that much. Other people are going to be like, ah, God, how are you going to do that? $6,000. I need to find a way to wipe out $6,000 in 1 year. And keep in mind, I don't make that much, and I can't increase what I do right now, because it's not like you can just go to your job and be like, okay, well, I'm supposed to clock out at 5. I'll just stay here until 9. It's not that kind of job. It's not that kind of work, and that's not how I make my money. But what I gotta do is figure out a way to constantly and continuously pay off that one particular debt. So that's my plan financially. Well, one of my plans financially to take care of that $6,000 debt. And I'm not going to take handouts. So anybody out there who's like, oh, I'm going to help them out with that, forget it. I'll throw that money back in your direction. Possibly set it on fire before I do it. I'm not one to look for handouts. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't care for it. I will work hard. I will make my fingers bleed. I will do whatever I need to do to make sure I take care of my business. So that's what I want to do. Another thing I want to do financially, I got myself a car in 2018. A lot of people say, oh, you're not going to do that. And a lot of people say, oh, you don't make enough money for that. I got one. Chevy Cavalier 2001. Not the biggest thing in the world. Not the best thing in the world. But it got me from point A to point B. And it's been a reliable car for a whole year. I have bled into that car. I have sweated into that car. I cried into that car. I have fixed parts of that car that I didn't even know I could fix. I'm a car enthusiast, and the fact that I owned a car and I was actually able to work on it to get it back functional, granted with some help, but keep in mind, I did the best to make sure that if I could physically do it, I was underneath the hood. I was underneath the car. I was inside that car. I even named it Kelly, because the first song I heard when I got into the car was Kelly Clarkson. What was it? Love So Soft. That's Kelly's song. So yeah, I got pretty attached to that car, but the thing is, I need to upgrade. I need to do better. I need something that more fits my personality for 2019 and onward. So I'm thinking about getting myself a Subaru. I've always wanted a Subaru, but granted, before in the past when I wanted a Subaru, it was for racing. I can't race no more. I'm gonna be a dad. Well, granted, I could probably find a way, but that's a goal for another year. This year, I just want a Subaru. But not just any Subaru. I'm getting myself a Baja. Now, I'm sure some of you don't know what a Baja is. If I can, I'm going to see if I can try to put it down here so you guys see what one looks like. But that's what I'm going for. I'm aiming for a Subaru Baja. Now, keep in mind, for me to get a Subaru Baja, those are newer cars. How I got Kelly was not easy. It was not conventional. It wasn't something that most people kind of do whenever they think about getting a car. Most people go, oh, I'm going to go down to the dealership and do everything. No, I did a private buyer and everything else. And we worked it out, and it was a good thing. I got lucky. Screwed and lucky again. My goal is to get that Baja. Now you're gonna be asking me, how you gonna get a new car, Baja, that's been made in the past 10 years, because they don't make them older than that. and be able to pay this $6,000 debt that you got. And that's the challenge. That's the challenge financially, to be able to figure out how to make that happen. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to work on. That's what I want to do. And I only got myself to rely on. See the challenge now? The first thing, family, that was kind of tough. This one, it seems a little bit more on Mission Impossible status, but for this Baja, it will fit the job that I do for Madden and Broadcasting. It'll also fit the kind of personality I want my son to see me as. I don't want him to see me in a Lamborghini. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want him to see me in a pickup. I'm not that kind of guy either. I don't want him to see me in a Lexus or anything else like that. Who you are is reflected by what you do. And what you do is reflected by what you wear, how you talk, what you drive. Because those are things that people see before they even hear you talk, before they know who you are. And I'm not saying that I'm getting this for anybody else. No, I'm getting this for me. Because I know I deserve that. I work hard on a daily basis. And now it's about time that I start working hard for me. Not as a selfish motion, but more of the idea that I need to start working on things that I want to move forward in my life with. Now, once again, no handouts, guys. Not looking for it. I'm not looking for them to be like, oh, well, I got a Baja. I'm just going to give it to them. I'll burn that thing. I'll set gasoline all over that and light that on fire as I walk away. I'm like, you shouldn't have done that. Congratulations. Now we both lost a car and I might be going to jail. I want to be able to form my own life. This is one of the steps I want to be able to accomplish to do so. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clear the $6,000 debt. And I'm going to get myself this car. By any means necessary and however it works, I'm going to make it happen. So that's financially, that's what I'm going to take care of. Now, right now, I'm calling it career, but actually, no, career fits. My plan is this. I need to know, with everything that goes around in my own life, what I can actually do. I don't want gainful employment. I don't need it. What I want is meaningful employment. I want something that I actually want to do. I don't want to be 60. I don't want to be 50. I don't want to be 40 and kind of go, man, I don't even want to do this. I want to do something that actually has meaning to me. I don't care with the rest of the world. I want to be able to be happy doing what I do. Now, granted, certain things I can't do. But I've been known to kind of do things that people didn't think I can do before. For example, actually, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be open with you guys. I was in jail. No, I was in jail, but I was also in prison. Big shocker, black guy in prison and everything else. And there's a whole story behind that. I'm sure if you look at one of my old videos, you'll see it. But when I was in prison, I was like, well, since I'm in prison, I might as well figure out a way to get some work. To do something to kill time. Because I'm not just going to sit here playing with my nuts. And they were like, oh, you can't get a job because you're not going to be here long enough. You're not going to be able to pick up a trade because you're not going to be here long enough. You might as well not go to school neither because you're only going to be here for a couple of years. And it's like, well, no. I'm not going to accept that as my fate. So, believe it or not, I took several classes. I couldn't take a whole course because even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be there the entire duration and end up just wasting my time. But courses I was able to take. So I took a Money Smart course, money management course, time management course. What else did I take? I took 2 more classes, actual courses, and I graduated on top in those classes. I also was an electronics engineer technician. No, I'm saying the title wrong. I was an electronics technician trainee, something like that. So I went around in the prison and helped fix electronic problems. It was a learning experience, and I've always been proud of the fact that people told me, you can't do that, you shouldn't do that, you're not going to do that, and I did it because I knew it was beneficial to me. Whenever Xavier was born, and we needed more money, because I underestimated exactly how financially straining it can be to have a child. I signed up to be a tax preparer? Yeah, that was the title, the tax preparer for H&R Block. And at the same time, I was watching the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. That's what it was called, with Will Smith. And that movie made me go, I gotta do something. and they had courses before you can be a tax preparer. And I went hardcore into this course. I walked to each and every class, and I was there asking questions. I had notebooks and everything, highlighters and everything. I went home and I studied. I even had a person who I competed with on scores, Savannah. I always looked over whenever we took any kind of exam. I looked over. Okay, she got that. I gotta get better than that, and I did. I got better than that. Every time I always push myself. I gotta understand the material inside and out. Regardless of whether I had a criminal record or not, I gotta show them I can do this, and I did. Matter of fact, I graduated the top 10% of the class. Actually, I think I graduated top 5% of the class. And it was the happiest moment of my life until they told me that they couldn't hire me. They didn't see that I had a criminal record, and they couldn't accept me with my criminal record. And I was like, well, shit. That's not something I can even force through. I can't be like, oh, you gotta hire me. Policy that they have, I had to go higher up, and honestly, I could have been spending my energy on something else. But I was always proud about the fact that I put my mind to it. I made it happen. I was always proud of that. With all that being said, knowing that I have a criminal history, multiple times, sadly, I also have mental health issues. If you guys see my old videos, you know that. And amazingly, when I was younger, I can't even say when I was young, a couple years back, let's say like a decade or two, I wanted to be a cop, a detective actually. When I didn't, and then I thought my fallback plan would be being part of the U.S. Army. Obviously, with a criminal record and mental health problems, those things are not a thing. But that doesn't mean that I'm completely out of luck when it comes to law enforcement. I believe in the law. I believe that order is something that should be maintained. Something about when I was in college, I dabbled in private investigating. Nothing major, nothing like, oh, I solved murders or anything like that. It's mostly just people going like, I wonder what my female's doing. I wonder what my male's doing. That kind of stuff. Or can you do this or can you do that? I didn't call it a PI, but later on when I look back, I'm like, oh, that's kind of like private investigating work. Something maybe I should probably look into that. Or maybe even bounty hunting. You guys obviously heard of Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, I know some of you are going to be laughing like, oh, that guy's a joke. But think about it. The guy was charged for murder and ended up working for the law. As much of a joke people might think that he is, he did something that many people wouldn't do once shown that path in life. People wouldn't decide to be a bounty hunter. Maybe that's something I could look into. I don't know yet. That's one of the things I want to look into. Another thing I want to look into, I actually made a list. Law enforcement. The next category I was thinking about, I volunteered at a place called Skills of Central PA. It's a place that helps other people who have mental health disabilities. And I attended there, and then I started to make headway to actually finding ways to be able to be one of the mental health professionals there to help other people. I want to be able to help people. Obviously, that's something that I want to do. Being a detective or a cop or a soldier, those people help others. Now, being a mental health professional, I can't be a therapist, and that's not really my thing. I can't be a psychiatrist, not my thing either. Maybe what I can do, though, is I can help people relate on a people level. I can be like, okay, well, you tried this, how about this? On a personal level. Here in this area, they have something here called a CPS. Yeah, CPS, Certified Peer Specialist. I thought about being that for the longest time. But before that, I didn't have a car. Obviously, now I have a car because I talked to you guys about that before. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. Right now, the committee and me, we're working on a couple things to see what can we do, how can we get you into these fields, what kind of training do you need to do, and they know that I'll do it. They know that I'll put the hours into it. They know that I'll put the time into it, and they know that if someone tells me, oh, I can't do it, I'll just do it. They know that that's the kind of person that I am. So that's something that I definitely want to try to do. Another thing that I've been thinking about doing, now Vincent's been doing this and helping me out. Vincent and my other brother, Danny. Yeah, Danny's a popular name, apparently. We've been dabbling in the idea of computer work. Not as a team effort, but they show me a little bit of what they know. I show him a little bit what I learned. We can just go back and forth on a lot of different things. Matter of fact, with this current setup, Simon helped me set up, but I'm watching him do the things. So, like, I'm doing the heavier stuff, like, the manual labor. Simon is not good at that kind of stuff, but I am. At least in that aspect. So I'm thinking of maybe doing some kind of computer work. What's that TV show? Criminal Minds? Now, my favorite character was always that chick on the computer, let me tell you. And seeing her work, I'm like, well, maybe I can do something like that. I'm not exactly out in the field. Granted, I love being in the field. Field work is great for me. But if I could track down bad guys using the computer, PIs do that. Bounty hunters do that. If I could find a way to mix that together, to develop those skills to put me where I want to be, maybe my committee might be able to help me figure out what kind of training do I need to be able to do that. So that's kind of one of my goals too. Now, last and not least, now this is going to sound kind of funny to some of you, but this whole thing has been funny to a lot of people until next year I go on the show and all that can do stuff. Obviously, I talk a lot about cars. I'm a car enthusiast. If you don't believe it, go to the I Am series. You see my first episode is actually car enthusiast. I've always wanted to be a driver. Now, you'll be like, oh, well, a taxi driver? Like, not exactly. Let me tell you, the first time I ever thought about seriously driving to the next level was watching Transporter, watching taxis, the Italian Job, things like that. Baby Driver recently. The idea that, and Uber kind of blew that stuff completely up, like, blew it up. Everybody's doing that. But it's not like, high-speed chasing and all that stuff. But at the very lowest level, I love driving. I love racing. I definitely want to be behind the wheel in some way, shape, or form. And driving is an everyday thing that every adult has to go through. So technically, it's not that far off from me. Maybe driving is something that I should really look into. I've always wanted to take those EVO courses that police officers take. Evasive vehicular operating is being able to handle your car in certain situations. If you spin out, what do you do? If you happen to lose control of your car in A, B, or C scenario, what do you do? I want to learn that kind of stuff. Who knows? I'm putting that kind of question to my committee, the Better Me committee, because even though I have this XYP going on, they're still active. And they're able to find out things that I might not have access to. And if they can help me do me better, oh yeah, I'm all about that. So the four things I want to work on, being law enforcement. Yeah, I know it's a joke for somebody who has mental health issues and a criminal history. I'm going to see what I can do. No harm in looking what I can do and seeing what I can push through. Second thing I want to work on, mental health field. See if I can do some kind of peer work. Because there are other companies, not just Sinclair in this area, there's also Peerstar, the other organizations and companies that might be able to look at me and be like, despite your health, but despite the fact of your criminal history and everything else, you have shown that you can progress through life. And that's what I want to do. Third thing, being computer information. I've learned a couple things here and there. Right now, I'm actually working with a company, Myers Consulting. Not the best job in the world, but I'm learning things along the way. So that is a step in the right direction, but maybe it's not exactly where I want to be. I don't want to be working with radios. I don't want to necessarily be working with A, B, and C, but I kind of want to be working on software, being able to operate things properly, and being able to use them to my advantage. Who knows? Maybe I might make a program one day. Maybe I might not, but at least I know how to operate things. Maybe I won't be completely clueless when it comes to computers. And the fourth thing, being a driver, being a transporter. Who knows? I kind of do that now. The old term I remember my brother using was gypsy. People who were just like taxi drivers, but unofficial. They didn't belong to a company. That's kind of what I do now. Granted, for a lot less money. But it's always about the experience, right? So that's the idea. Not gainful employment, but meaningful employment. That's what I'm aiming for. And that's number 3. Now, the last thing I want to work on, and this is important to me, but is not dire. But it's something I definitely want to work on. Some of you guys know I have Second Chance Review. And if you go to the YouTube channel, it's active. Videos every now and again, and whole series. I'm finishing things that I start. I want that to be better. Right now I have 42 subscribers. I got on in 2019. I want 100. I want to double that number and then some. The 42, not the 100. I got a website going for that too, and I'm working and learning how to make websites better. It's going to take some time. All I got is me right now. I used to have a bunch of writers. I used to have a couple editors. I used to have a lot of different things. But my life has been really busy and chaotic. I'm not saying I'm going to put this in the back burner, but everything else obviously has a higher priority. This is more of a hobby. This is more of a personal thing. The idea I want Second Chance Review to be a bigger thing, like Gamerholics or Voxel Voice, and they both have helped me tremendously. Maybe I should try to see if I could work with them first, learn how to write reviews better, learn how to do websites better, and I've learned to make material better. If you looked at my YouTube channel, my Second Chance Review YouTube channel, if you look at the videos that I used to make compared to the videos that I make now, you can see the quality has increased. My brother Danny has definitely helped me out figuring out what parts of the computer that I need to upgrade and help me upgrade them. He has helped Second Chance Review through me so much more than anything else that I've ever experienced. And I owe him so much more for that. On top of that, on top of the Second Chance Review, I have my own personal YouTube, which you guys are obviously on right now. And I definitely want to show more to the world of who I am. The idea of self-discovery has always been a thing. Last year I wanted to work on Different and Proud, and now I have been working on it. Granted, I've been kind of slacking on it, but whenever I do come up with an epiphany, it comes up and I work, I present it, I talk about it. And honestly, I want to find a way to talk with more people. I want to connect with more people who happen to have disabilities, and actually, whenever I actually clean up this room, because I'm always working on it. Like I'll come in here, do something, and I have to go do the very next thing. So I don't have time to make this place pretty. But whenever I actually think about how to incorporate other people into Different and Proud, the I Am series, the Legacy Project, those things, I want to be able to interview people. And hopefully not here. Hopefully I can actually take a camera and take them out and be like, hey, let's talk about what you do to increase your recovery. Or let's talk about what makes you you. Or let's talk about, what do you plan to leave for the future? Because Xavier's the Legacy Project is Xavier. The core of it is Xavier, but it also is about the idea of making the world better for the next generation. What do you leave behind for the next generation? I don't want to inspire people. I want people to inspire people. And if they use the medium that I create to do that, then I'm all about that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm 110% about that. So I definitely want to work more on my actual channel. Another thing I want to do, and this is going to be sounding, once again, I've been talking about impossible things, but 2019 is going to be the year I rely on me, and impossible things will happen. I want to start a pilot. I actually want to do something like a episodic thing. I want to be able to do something that's like, okay, well, that could be a TV show, or that could be the beginning of a movie. There've been a lot of things in 2018 that's been like, wow. For instance, Split came out, and I was just wowed by that. Get Out, wowed. Me and the rest of the guys of the Guys Night Out, we watched a lot of the Marvel movies, and I'm just like, wow. And a lot of those things were like, oh, this is last ditch attempt. This doesn't work, then, everything's being flushed down the toilet. And there's things that people do that just are amazing. And I know that there's something in my head that I could possibly put together that's going to be quite impressive. I don't know what that is yet. But I'm hoping that in 2019, I'll figure something out. And hopefully put something out. I think I mentioned last year that I want to do something like DI Detective or something like that. And honestly, the hardest part about that is being able to think about, okay, how do you want to do that? And I'm not saying that's not going to be done. I'm more focused on the idea of how do I get that done. Maybe I should actually start writing down what a pilot, like the actual script, and kind of go, okay, what can I do and what can't I do? Or maybe just go, okay, what can't I do and what am I going to find a way to do anyway? But in all honesty, those are all the things I want to work. That's my XYZ plan. And it is huge. 4 parts. Each part taking about 10 minutes to talk about. I kind of wish I could shorten it down for you guys, and I really wish I could. Who knows, I might be able to make another video that will shorten this out. But I wanted to talk it out. I wanted to explain things to you in detail. And hopefully, you guys will see a lot more of me. a lot more of what I put out, a lot more of my success stories. That a lot of people who go, oh, you can't do that by yourself. You're going to fail. You're going to fail without us. You're going to fail without the help. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to succeed. Because I'd much rather succeed after failing by myself a million times once. I'd much rather fail a million times and succeed once than fail 0 times and succeed because of you. Or anybody. My life is mine. And the people who look up to me, and those people who are growing, they're going to look up to me and be like, he did that. He crawled his way up to the top. And wherever the top is where I define it to be. So that's my 2019 New Year's resolution. It's a lot. I have faith in myself. I'm going to rely on myself because there's no one else who's going to be that's dedicated to my own goals than myself. I'll let you guys know how it goes. If nothing else, keep me focused. Ask me questions like, oh, how's that going? Thank you guys. I'm exhausted. This is a lot of talking that I've been doing. Thank you all for listening. And especially you, Vincent. I know you're watching this. Keep me focused, man. The world hasn't seen us yet. But they're going to. And they better get ready. Good night, you guys. Happy 2019.